All right. So Fort Knox, talking about right-wing moves. This I guess someone tweeted out that, hey, we should do an audit of Fort Knox to see is all the gold there. Something like 5,000 ounces of gold or whatever it is. What is it? What's the amount? Yeah, so like 2.5% of all the gold in the world that's known about, above ground gold, supposed to be at Fort Knox. And the idea is that initially it was there as a peg for when the gold was pegged to the dollar. You had to have gold-backed assets. Nixon put an end to that in 1971. Let's go ahead, start printing, and then now we have assets aren't backed by gold except the paper gold market. And the paper gold market, when you're trading futures of golds or ETFs or all these different things, that's supposed to be some sort of claim on gold. These things are like leverage. They're like 100-to-1 leverage on gold. So there's not enough gold to account for everything, but fine. But the idea here is that if they go and audit Fort Knox, and it turns out there's less gold than was said, like substantially less gold than is claimed, or worse, no gold,
Then what?
that could cause a break-in of confidence within the U.S. structure. You go, well, this is the problem, and they've been lying this for years. What else are they lying about? Let's
But
just start selling off.
what does the gold? What does the gold matter? Like, what is the gold used for? What difference does it make? You operate on fiat, so who cares about the gold?
Right, exactly. So it's more about that they're lying about it.
Yeah, but so what? They're lying about a bunch of stuff. Who cares?
I understand. So
I
then,
just don't understand how. Okay, so they get to Donald Trump gets to Fort Knox. They open up that safe.
Papa Musk, yeah,
That's right. They open it up. They see it's empty.
mm-hmm.
Then what?
Right. So
What?
two
What?
things could
What?
happen.
What? How? Besides sentiment, how does it affect
Well, the paper gold
anything?
market could then get kibosh. It could be send ripples, because if you go, well, this is the thing. Fort Knox is not the only repository of gold that might be empty or not have nearly as much gold as what's said, which is like the case.
Is that London you're talking about?
Yeah, the London Bullion Market Association, I think it is. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of gold in different locations. Those are the two big markets. And right now, there's this issue where a bunch of the waiting period to get gold from claimed physical gold from in London is like
Weeks.
up to 8 weeks.
Mhm.
So people are like, why is it taking 8 weeks? It's supposed to be right over there. How's it taking 8 weeks for me to get my gold? Meanwhile, gold seems to be on ships and planes headed over to the New York location because of uh, issues with the price of futures for gold in New York is actually higher than the futures in London. And so, do you know what a futures contract is?
Yeah, it's like stock trading in the future.
That's very nice. So, if you own a futures contract, depending on the type of futures contract, gold being one of them, you can get paid. You can just sell the futures contract, but if you wait until the expiration of this contract, you can either be settled in gold or dollar amount.
Hmm.
And most people just take the money because they didn't want the gold to begin with.
Yeah, what are you going to do
Um,
with it? It's hard to manage gold. I mean, you know this because, anyway, I'm not going to talk about your business, but it takes money to manage your gold, keep it secure, transport. It's heavy.
that's right. But if the futures price of gold is higher than the spot price of gold, the physical gold, then the person who has to pay out might decide, I'd rather pay out in gold because it'll be cheaper for me than
Right.
to pay you out in dollars. So if they're going to do that, well, then they need the physical gold. They need the physical gold to be delivered.
So it's the person who owns the contract who decides how you get paid out?
No, well, no, not necessarily. There's rules for different types of futures. I don't know the exact rules for gold futures, but what seems to be going on right now, from my understanding, is that because the futures price is higher than the spot price, people want those contracts settled in gold. Like the issuer of the the one who has the burden to actually settle the contract, they want to settle it in gold. So they have to. So gold is being shipped over from London to New York in order to satisfy this, which is supposed to be. But then they go, but they're supposed to be 5,000 ton. What is it? Is it tons? Whatever, some large amount. 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 tons of gold in Fort Knox or the New York Exchange. Sorry, and then there's supposed to be like 7,000 in London,
Hmm.
and there's only like a few hundred tons that are being claimed. So why is it taking 8 weeks? So people are like, suspicious. Now, normally, I don't really care about this. The trade for the paper market for gold is going to blow up. You know, the not your gold, not your coins sort of idea in gold has been around ever since I've ever heard about gold. You have to have gold in your safe. You have to if you can't get to your gold in an emergency, you don't have the gold at all, and blah 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 blah. Totally understand, totally fair.
Yeah.
But the question is, when does the Peter Schiff doomsday clock hit, and then you need to be able to claim it. And it's it's been 20 years I've been hearing
Wait,
this.
the Peter Schiff doomsday clock?
Well, the Peter Schiff moment.
Is he still at 11:59 to midnight or whatever?
I think he's at 1 second to. He's been on 1 second to, just tapping his watch. And but we're in fourth turning territory now. We have two great champions. Who knows what's going on?
Wait, Elon Musk is the first one. Who's the
Papa
second?
Musk, Papa Musk, and King Trump. Exactly, are
King
two
Trump
great
is.
champions. We've never had dual great champions before in the fourth turning, as far as I know. And so, and all kinds of crazy things are happening. FBI agents, 1,000 FBI agents is being sent out by Kash Patel.
Right.
You got Tulsi DNI. You got RFK. By
HS.
all accounts, on death's door, head of HSS. Head tech, taking people off of TV and making them putting them into the cabinet. It's all kinds of crazy things going on over here. Jory Reid just lost her spot on MSNBC. It's chaos out there, people.
I think that last one's pretty minor.
Rachel Maddow had to come back on MSNBC at a pay cut and stream more often. You think she's happy about that? No. She's expecting Kamala to win and have a nice, cozy future doing guest spots on Pod Save America on SiriusXM.
So all this relates to the gold somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's ever going to be a time where the paper gold market was going to explode, blow up, you'd imagine it'd be fourth turning territory, right? And so I always thought, okay, so then short the futures market, long physical gold, short the futures market. But what could happen is that it could cause the futures market, the price of the futures market is sort of related to the price of physical gold, spot gold. And so it could be that the collapse of the trust within the gold market causes the physical gold to skyrocket in price. And so the futures can skyrocket. The actual loss of trust within the system might cause the price to go parabolic, at least temporarily, as shorts will have to cover and all kinds of different dynamics can get into play where a gold shoots up. But we're not a gold podcast here. Like, that's not what freaking gold. Get out of here. I
Wait,
sold all
how
my
high could
gold
it
years
go?
ago. Who cares how high it can go? You know what can also go high? Bitcoin, baby. A bunch of people would be like, you know what? I've been wanting to make the switch. We need something we could put the money into right away. They don't want to sit on a bunch of U.S. dollars. Let's just go ahead and put that money into Bitcoin. Central banks are theoretically already starting to stockpile this. Institutions are in play. Let's just switch from the paper gold market into the Bitcoin market, which to me would seem right down. Would just be a footnote inside what's going on here with the fourth turning, and that could cause Bitcoin to massively surge. And so that's the trade. That's what I'd be looking for. You want to be, if you think the paper gold market is going to go belly up, long Bitcoin is a trade. Okay.
I don't get it. So people who would be interested in gold would then switch to Bitcoin. Why?
As a store of value.
Yeah, but
Well,
why not bonds?
what is it? Well, bonds are essentially the same thing as having cash,
Hmm.
right? So cash is uh, a bond is you have a maturity of 3 months to 30 years or whatever, 100 years if you're in the UK. Depending on what kind of bond you get, you have an interest rate that you're collecting on that, a coupon that you're collecting on that, and then you can claim it at the end.
That doesn't act as a store of value.
It doesn't act as historic value,
So
but
why would they go
currency.
to the risky Bitcoin versus the stable? If you go for gold, you want stability, you like tradition. You've already been negging uh, Bitcoin. Maybe that's not the right word, um, but you've been ignoring Bitcoin. So why would you now jump to Bitcoin?
Well, two reasons. One, the store of value within as gold as an asset for large players is not just because gold is a store of value, but it's an alternative to the existing system. So the existing system is based on treasuries. So if you're losing your faith within the system, you're not going to go to another paper system that doesn't even have anything back in it. The whole reason you put billions of dollars into gold is to not to have some sort of safety outside of that.
What about silver?
Silver. Come on, Peter. I thought we were being serious over here. Silver?
Isn't it going up?
Sure, it can go up, but you need even more space to hold silver than you do. If there's a problem with the paper market for gold, there's probably going to be a problem with the paper market for silver too.
Okay.
That's like jumping from Trump coin to Melania coin. It's
Does the
ridiculous.
dollar crash if there's no gold or not enough gold in Fort Knox?
No, it can go up. So what happens when you have to liquidate assets is that you're liquidating it to get dollars, which means now there's a big demand for dollars, and so dollar can spike up
But you
if
said they
people
want the
have.
gold instead of the dollars.
Right, exactly. So they might go from gold to dollars to then Bitcoin, and then store their store value over there.
So the best thing that could happen for Bitcoin is Fort Knox is empty.
Exactly.
Why would Donald Trump want to reveal that there's no gold in Fort Knox?
I don't think he would. I think he's threatening it.
But he's going.
Yeah, yeah. People have gone to Fort Knox before, and they make a show of it. Like a full transparent audit is every bar is checked, every serial number is checked transparently for everyone to be able to audit. I have not found one audit of Fort Knox or the London or anything. I haven't found any audit whatsoever. On the other side, China, the Central Bank of China, is supposed to have, I don't know, something like 2,000 tons of gold. There's estimates that they may actually have 20,000 tons of gold, that they've been secretly buying gold up all over the world in order to have a stockpile for, when they try to take over and they do their Angmar burst, War of Sudden Flame. If you know your Silmarillion, your Lord of the Rings, you'll get that reference. So they might be sitting on 20,000 tons worth of gold, which means there's no gold in these other places. Like that's been bought. And so the uncertainty of it all is
So
where it's really juicy.
it's a threat to who? He's making a threat to who potentially? Federal Reserve?
Well, it could be the Federal Reserve. It could be anybody who has an interest within the survivability of the financial system. So you can
Isn't
imagine
that
people
all
who
of
just
us?
come.
He's threatening all of us.
Not all of
You just
us.
described the human
Not
population.
all of us, Peter. Come on, come on.
I just don't
But
understand
people who matter. The
why
goals, District One, that sort of thing.
why would Trump want to create instability in his administration when it
Same way
comes
as he
to
threatened the tariffs. It gives him cards to play.
he's not just threatening the tariffs, he's putting the tariffs on. It's
Yeah,
not a
but he's not
threat.
putting as much as they did before, and it's not exactly clear and how long they're going to last and what's going to happen. I mean, how often did you hear about tariffs are going to be super inflationary and prices are going to go through the roof because of the tariffs? How many times did you hear that?
Hmm.
Now it's coming out. You're watching all these experts talk. You're like, um, where they actually go into the numbers, and it looks like actually it might be deflationary. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. It's gonna be deflationary. It can only be inflationary. You have a net increase of liquidity worldwide. This drains liquidity worldwide. It's not inflationary. Okay, tariffs are not inflationary. Okay, maybe a one-time increase in certain goods and services that you don't even need to buy. So ridiculous, not inflationary. So he might be using this as a card,
Hmm.
right? It could be a card that he wants to play. Hey, I'm crazy enough. I might go to Fort Knox. Are you kidding me? Some like a silly thing like a collusion theory, a conspiracy theory stop me. Let's go check it out. If he's like, I'm going to send my mad dog in there, who knows what he's going to tweet out? It could be pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump has a bunch of putts on some options on gold, Nancy Pelosi style. Anyways, the trade is long Bitcoin. I think we got the clip. We can move on to the next one. Thank you very much.